Hello all, welcome to another episode of GitHub Copilot. 2 weeks before, GitHub announced that all the chat capabilities, the dotcom chat capabilities are available for Copilot individual and business users. If you have any Copilot license, you will be able to use the dotcom chat effectively. So today we are looking at 3 different scenarios in dotcom chat. When we deal with application development, we come across many general queries in terms of what may be the latest features, architecture patterns, design elements, many aspects. It may not be related to pure coding, but it's more like the latest information we need. How Copilot can help us get this latest information, which may be released yesterday or day before yesterday. You may be encountered some of the support concerns, the errors or specific questions about your platform usage, and you raise the support questions. Instead of raising a ticket, how we can use Copilot to get that information from the support database or support knowledge base itself. And the last one is anything and everything happening on GitHub is published as part of GitHub documentations. But it's very difficult to go through each and every documentation to understand a specific element. How Copilot can quickly bring that information, the documentation related information, back to our IDE or to the .com. So let us explore the .com chat in both places, in a browser-based environment as well as in IDE, to query the general information, support scenarios, or the data from our GitHub's documentation itself. So let us move to the demo. Those who are new to GitHub, this is the doc portal where you have a bunch of documentation based on your version you are using. If you are enterprise cloud users, you have some set of documentation. The free users, another set of documentations are available. And under each of these elements, you have a bunch of information listed down here. So sometimes it's very difficult to go through each and everything to understand what exactly we are looking at. So here also we can use Copilot to get that information. So let me go to the GitHub Copilot interface. I'm in the Immersive View. If you are new to Immersive View, from your repository, you can invoke Copilot, and on top you have these 3 dots, and you can say that take conversation to Immersive. So it brings a complete browser interface for chat purpose. Here you can start chatting with Copilot without interfering any of the repository constraints or related information here. So all these 3 scenarios today we are talking about is outside scenario. It's not pertaining to my repository. So I can use the immersive experience of Copilot. So let me start with the first general question. What is the latest version of C# and core features associated with it? So this is my general question. What exactly the latest information we have on C# and what are the details? As you can see here, it's went for a search, that is a web search, that is nothing but a Bing search. It's integrated with a Bing search and it's brought the information here. If I want this Bing search information directly, I can navigate to that. I can open this corresponding links in the next page and go in detail information. But if I need a summary information, just go down. The Copilot brought the high level information. The core features on C# 13 is enhanced params, interceptors, pattern matching, improved performance. There are 4 different core features released as part of C#. So let us query one more time. Is there any vulnerabilities associated with jQuery 1.2.x? So again I am looking for some general information whether I have any kind of vulnerabilities are there. So in this case, as you can see, I started this particular immersive experience from this particular repository, and it's used alert information tool. So Copilot can use for getting all the security vulnerability information associated with your repository. It's part of your GitHub advanced security. In case it reported any vulnerabilities, it's able to bring that information. For that, we are using a get alert information tool. This is the tool used for that particular purpose. I expected Copilot to use this Wing search tool, but it's based on my query, it's used the get alert information tool. So I need to force Copilot to use the Wing alert. For that, you can say #web go for web search. I want to search in the web. I'm forcing Copilot to go ahead and search in the web instead of using any other tools. So here you can see the same query by appending #web. It's went for a Wing search, and it's brought that there are non-vulnerabilities. One of the significant vulnerability is this particular one, and all the related articles are brought here. I can go through this one, or even I can ask Copilot to summarize further details on this particular vulnerability. That is also possible. So this is how you can get general queries, anything general about your programming aspect or latest libraries, vulnerabilities, fixes, or latest technology events. You can ask all such queries here using Wing search. In case you need to enforce the Wing search, you need to use #web for that particular purpose. So let us move to the second set of queries, that is the support related questions. Sometimes we may encounter some kind of support requirements. For example, I have a support query came to me where Copilot is hitting some HTTP telemetry instead of HTTPS. Suggest the resolution. So I am asking Copilot to suggest the resolution for this one. It's went for searching the support queries and came with some support items. Here you can see that Copilot used the support search tool. Just like Wing search tool or the alert information tool, there is a support search tool which brings the information from GitHub support. So this particular issue is reported by some customer, and the corresponding is addressed through the proxy settings. So that information and associated resources are available here, and it's coming directly from support ecosystem itself. So if I want to ask some more questions like how do I configure SSH? Either it can come from support or from documentation, because SSH configuration can be a documentation aspect. So let us see where it went. It went to support. So there are support queries related to SSH configuration. That's why it's used support search tool and got the information. This the step-by-step instruction for configuring SSH. So if I use something else, so let me ask, what are the audit information available for Copilot? I don't want the general Copilot. Let me specific GitHub Copilot business. Any audit informations are available for GitHub Copilot business. So let us see where it went. This time it's went for again support search tool. It's went for the support search and brought these information, but it may not be directly from support. If you look at here, it's used the GitHub documentation. All these three links are coming directly from GitHub documentation. It's used the documentation for searching and bringing the information back to me. So this is how you can go ahead and search. One is the general queries, Bing search is used. Second one is support scenarios, support search is used. And obviously we encountered the alert scenario, which we will explore in another video, or you can ask the documentation specific question. Let me ask one more question on the GitHub features and see whether it brings the documentation query or the support query. Irrespective of whether it goes to documentation or support, it brings that complete documentation information here. And GitHub project have 4 different new features, and let us see where it went. It used support search, and also it's used the Bing search. These two are clubbed together. Two tools are used and club the result into one for responding to this particular query. What are the GitHub projects? Can I use the knowledge base for individual users? It's again going for a support search and brought it. It's only available for organization members with enterprise subscription. Individual subscribers to Copilot does not have this feature available right now. Let me ask one more question to Copilot. How to configure enterprise managed users using Azure, or right now it's Microsoft Entra ID. GitHub configuration plan using Azure Entra ID. So let us see where it went and how it's provided the information. It's provided set OIDC authentication, provisioning users, object ID, and managing team synchronization. There are 4 different steps with 6 different references it's used. Okay, this references is not giving any much importance here. And if you look at here, it's used the support search, it used a Bing search, and it's used a semantic search tool. It's used a semantic tool to understand anything in my repository is linked to this one. 3 different search tools are used and combine the data together to form the response for my query. So Copilot is not only restricted to your code base. Right now you can use the Copilot integrated with Bing search and different tools for searching external information like the latest dependency latest releases in the tech world and everything, and also use the Copilot for searching the support ecosystem and the GitHub documentation. So all the information will be available for you with the proper reference links, which gives you further information on how to go ahead and everything. If you want further information, you can even query or revise your prompt to get more information on a particular query. Let us go ahead and explore the same thing in an ID world. So most of the time as a developer, we may be working in an ID. So I am using VS Code as my ID here. I want you ask the same questions. Let me start with @GitHub, indicating that ask the questions on web-based or browser-based questions I am going to ask. How do I configure SSH? So when I am doing my programming, I have a query how to configure SSH. So you can observe that it's brought the entire details here, how to generate SSH keys and all the information. It may be used some of the document for references, this external documents from the GitHub documentation, and based on that it constructed the response for me, and the step-by-step instructions and the commands are available for me to configure GitHub SSH. So let us go with another question. What is the latest version of C#? So this is my question, and let us see how Copilot is bringing this information. You can see that it's used Bing search to get the latest version from Microsoft Learn. The information is brought here. Let me ask what are the new features associated with C# 13. So 13 is the new area, and further queries on 13 again used Bing search for bringing that information. Here also, if you want to force the Bing search, you can use #web, indicating that force the web-based search or the Bing search should be performed. As you can observe that you can use either the ID-based GitHub or the browser-based GitHub for querying general aspect, support areas, and also GitHub documentation. Go ahead and explore it. It's available for individual, business, and enterprise users. Thank you.